Hello and welcome everyone. In this session, we are going to study about a new chapter that is called Plant Kingdom. In this part, we are going to study about some classification system, okay, and also the general characteristics of algae. Okay, so in the previous chapter, we have studied about the classification system proposed by Whittaker, which consists of the five kingdom, that is Monera, Protista, Fungi, Animalia, and Plantae. Now, in the plant kingdom, we study about algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and angiosperm. So in this chapter, this is about the plant kingdom. Okay, so we are taking the first class, that is the algae. So before going to start the general characteristic of algae, let us try to understand the classification system given by different scientists time to time for the angiosperm. Okay, so the first one was artificial system of classification. So this classification system was totally based on one or two morphological characters. Okay, so morphological characters grouped together, and on the basis of that, the organism has been classified. So this artificial system has been used habitat and habit for this purpose. Aristotle classified animals on the basis of their habitat, aquatic, terrestrial, and aerial animals. So according to the Aristotle, the organisms are of three different types, that is the aquatic animals, terrestrial animals, and aerial animals. Okay, so Pliny also distinguished animals on the basis of flight and non-flight. So he said that there are only two types of animals. Some animals can fly and some animals cannot fly. So on the basis of, he divided the animal kingdom into two subclasses. Linnaeus classified organisms on the basis of numerical strength of sex organs like androecium number in flowers of plants. Okay, so this is the artificial system of classification, which is totally based on the morphological characters only. But there was some drawback for the system. The system was not accepted, and because the closely related organisms are separated into different groups, whereas okay, so very closely related animals, according to this, has been put far apart from the closely related organisms. System is based only one or two morphological or ecological traits. So organism has been classified based on only one or two morphological or ecological traits. So that this system was not totally accepted by everyone. System picked up artificial characteristics for classification, so not able to reflect the natural relationship. So the classification system also talk about how the organisms are related to each other, but this system totally fail in that. It do not show clear-cut evolutionary relationship. So this is one of the major drawback of the system, that evolutionary relationship cannot be based on morphological characters, because in morphological characters only you can see the external appearance of the organism. Okay, but in evolutionary relationship, you follow how the organism has been evolved from the previous organism in remote past. Okay, some characters used in artificial get changed with the change in environment. So sometimes what happen, some organism have a particular characteristics in one environment, and when that organism is placed in some another environment, that morphological characteristics goes off. So this is not accepted at all. So this was the drawback of artificial system of classification. Okay, after this, natural system of classification came. In this system, number of characters into consideration that bring out the natural similarities and dissimilarities. Now, this is one step ahead. There, only morphological characteristics were like the scientists have focused on only the morphological characters, but here they are taking into account some of the characters that are naturally similar and also dissimilar even. So this system employs comparatively a constant character, that character that do not fade. Like if we talk the previous one, that some of the morphological characters are present in one environment, but when the organism is placed in another environment for some time, that morphological characters goes off. So here that is not happening. So this system employs comparatively a constant characters. It includes morphological characters, anatomical characters, cytological characters, physiology, cytochemistry, and reproduction even. So there are so many characters that has been taken in account for the classification purpose. So obviously, this system was quite ahead if we compare with the artificial one. So, merits of natural system of classification: it brings out affinities on the basis of natural characters. It placed only related organism in a group. So, related organisms are placed in a group. Unrelated organisms are not there. So, this is a homogeneous type of classification. This system prevent coming together unrelated organism. Now, unrelated organism means they are placed in some other group. Okay, indicates phylogenetic relationship and the origin of taxa. It also talks about the phylogenetic relationship, like it talks about evolutionary tendency of the organism, how the organism has been evolved from the previous organism in remote past. So it talks about that also. So closely related organism, now we say that closely related organism are placed in a one group, and the organism which are not related, okay, they are placed in another group. The next classification system that was phylogenetic system of classification. This classification is based on evolutionary relationship of organism and is called as phylogenetic system of classification. So how we know that this particular organism has evolved from that organism in remote past? Okay, so fossil plays a very important role to establish a relationship, evolutionary relationship between the organisms, and it is based on possible evolution of different traits. So we talk about the different traits, we follow the different traits of the organism and see with the help of fossil that this traits came from which organism. So in this way we are able to establish evolutionary relationship between the organism. Phenetic classification. Now this system of classification is based on the affinities, similarities and dissimilarities of the characteristics present in the present day organism without searching for the evolution and diversification of these traits in their fossil ancestors. So we are not going to talk about the fossils. Okay, so here they are for this system of classification is totally based on 4 branches of taxonomy, that is cytotaxonomy, chemotaxonomy, numerical taxonomy and cladistic. So we are going to see one by one how these 4 branches of taxonomy able to establish a new classification system, that is phenetic classification system. Cytotaxonomy. So classification is based on information provided by comparative cytological studies like chromosome number, structure and the meiotic behavior of the chromosomes. So with the evolution of advanced type of microscopes, we are able to see the cytological details of each and every organism's cell. We are able to see the chromosomes, okay, and also the meiotic, how the meiosis is taking place inside the cells. Okay, so that also we are able to see now with the evolution of high power of microscope. So classification is based on information about the comparative cytological studies. So this is very important. Comparative cytological studies, we are comparing different cells of organism. We are comparing number of chromosomes in the organism. Okay, so if we compare the number of the sequences of chromosome of human and chimpanzee, then only 2% of difference of the genes is there between the human and chimpanzee, and see how different both the organism are. So with the help of these cytotaxonomy, these things are able to establish. Chemotaxonomy. This system of classification is based on the characteristic of various chemical constituents of organism like amino acid, proteins, DNA sequences, and alkaloids. Now here, what we are comparing the constituents, like we are comparing about the amino acids. We are comparing the protein present in the organism. Okay, we are comparing the DNA sequences present in one organism and absence in another organism. We are also comparing the alkaloids present in the organisms. So this chemotaxonomy is also going to help in the classification of organism. Numerical taxonomy. It evaluates resemblance and differences of primitiveness and advancement through the statistical method base. So here comes the statistics of the resemblance and differences of primitive advancement. Okay, on a large number of characters obtained from all the disciplines of biology. So here all the game is played by the numbers of characters. Which numbers of characters is present in this particular organism, and what are the differences, number of character difference from the other group of organism. It is easily carried out using computers. So statistics of this method is played with the help of computers. Okay, number and codes are assigned to all the characters and the data are then processed. So with the help of these computers, numbers and codes are given to the characters, and with the help of that, data is processed. Cladistic. It searches similarity due to the common phylogeny or origin from the common ancestors. There are two types of character, ancestral characters and derived characters. So the characters which we receive from our ancestors, that are called as ancestral characters, and the characters which we derive, okay, which we derive in the course of evolution, that is called as derived characters, or the character which we develop. Okay, we are still in a process of evolution. Every organism is still in a process of evolution, and it develops some of its own characters. So that is called as derived characters. So the four things, that is the cytological, cytochemical, numerical, and cladistic, these four branch of the taxonomy was helpful to establish the phenetic taxonomy. Okay, so let us start the new part of this chapter, that is algae. So kingdom Plantae includes all eukaryotic chlorophyll containing organism commonly called as plants. So plant kingdom, it includes eukaryotic cells and it is chlorophyll containing organism. All the cells contain chlorophyll and they are commonly called as plants. So plants generally, they are having chlorophyll and they are eukaryotic. Plants include, or plant kingdom plantae include algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and angiosperm. These are the 5 different classes, that is algae, bryophytes, pteridophyte, gymnosperm, and angiosperm makes the plant kingdom. Okay, so when we study about these organisms, there comes a term called thallophyta. So thallophyta means what? A thallus-like structure. It is not differentiated into root, stem, and leaf. It is a ribbon-like structure like this, and it is okay. So by this structure, you can see that the plant body is not differentiated into root, stem, and leaf-like structures. Okay, reproductive organ, single cell and naked jacket called gametangia. So the reproductive organs are not covered with jacketed cells. In early, like in the bryophytes, pteridophytes, you will see that they are having reproductive organ that are having protected by a jacket cells. And thallophyta means thallus-like structure organisms do not have such a reproductive organ. They are having simple gametangia-like structure. Embryo stage, vascular and mechanical tissue are all absent. No embryo stage is there, no vascular system, and no mechanical tissue can be found in thallophyta. Asexual reproductions occur by accessory spores, and this is very common in the case of thallophyta. And this thallophyta presently include only algae. So these are the characteristics of algae. Means algae is the simplest plant and its structure is called as thallus. Its vegetative structure is called as thallus. Means algae are not differentiated into root, stem or plant-like structure. Their reproductive structures are not covered with a jacket type of cells, and instead their reproductive structure is called as what? Gametangia. This is very important. Embryo stage, vascular structures and mechanical tissues are totally absent in case of algae. Asexual reproduction by different types of spores, and it includes algae. So let us move and see what are the general characteristics of algae. So algae are simple thalloid chlorophyll containing autotrophs. They are autotrophs because they have chlorophyll, and this chlorophyll helps in process of photosynthesis. So they are autotrophs, both freshwater and marine. So there are some individuals which are present in freshwater. Freshwater means lake, pond. Okay, so these are the freshwater, and marine habitat in which sea and oceans occur. Also seen in other habitats like moist stones, soil and wood. They are also found in moist stones, soil and even on wood. Some of them are associated to the lichens. Now lichens is a symbiotic relationship in which they form an association with fungal component. So algal component and fungal component comes together and they form an association which is called as lichen. And they are also sometimes found on the animal like sloth bear. Okay, on the sloth bear hairs, these algae can be. The size and form of the algal body, they can be microscopic unicellular. You cannot see with your naked eye. You need a aid, that is microscope, to see its cell. They are so smaller and like chlamydomonas, and they can be colonial form. They form a colony. That comes example is volvox, and they are a filamentous form also like Spirogyra and Eulothrix. So here you can see microscopic unicellular. This is microscopic unicellular and they do not have any flagella. That example is Chlorella. Unicellular, flagellated. This is also a microscopic, unicellular, but flagella is there for the locomotion. That is Chlamydomonas. Filamentous algae. Example is Spirogyra. Colonial form. This forms the different cells comes together and they are joined with this strand-like structure. So colonial form can be seen in the case of volvox. Branched filamentous, ectocarpus, and also parenchymatous form is found in the case of algae, that is Alva. This is very important. So these are the different, you can see a thallus like a structure of algae. Algae is present in these such forms. Certain marine forms of algae assumes a massive form. Those are called as kelps. So you can see in a figure that giant kelp, that is Macrocystis. It is so large. Okay. A typical algal cell grows cell wall enclosing organelles like endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body, mitochondria, ribosome, chloroplast, vacuoles, and nucleus. So all these organelles are present in the cell, a typical cell of algae. Okay, special storage bodies called pyrenoid. These are present in chloroplast. Okay, pyrenoids are present in chloroplast, and when chloroplasts do the process of photosynthesis, that starch gets stored in these pyrenoids. Okay, it consists of a core protein surrounded by the starch sheath. Pyrenoids are the organ of starch formation. The algae reproduce by the vegetative, asexual, and sexual method. So let us talk about the reproduction in algae. So there are three different forms reported in case of algae, that is vegetative, asexual, and sexual method. So vegetative propagation, it occur by the fragmentation. Sometime what happened, suppose we talk about a filamentous algae, so water currents are there. And many organisms are also in the water body. So by an accident or with the help of water current, those filaments can break down. Now each filament behaves like a new individual. So this is a fragmentation process. Okay. And this is a vegetative mode of reproduction, fragmentation. Asexual reproduction with the help of formation of zoospores, aplanospores, and echinids. So zoospore means they are having flagella-like structure. Now here you can see the zoospores in the case of Chlamydomonas. So Chlamydomonas bear a motile zoospore. Sometimes it bears motile zoospore, and sometimes it also bears spores which do not have flagella. So that is called as aplanospores, and this is non-motile. So no flagella is there. And echinids, sometimes they form a echinids. In adverse condition, the spore secrete out a wall-like structure. Okay, and this is also called as resting spores. This is also called as resting spores. So echinids are the resting spores. So three different types of asexual reproduction with the help of zoospores, with the help of aplanospores, and with the help of echinids. Zoospores are motile in nature, aplanospores are non-motile in nature, and echinids are the resting spores. They form in adverse condition. Sexual reproduction is possible by the fusion of gametes. Okay, now here true sexual reproduction we can see. Okay, by the formation of gametes. Now when the gametes are formed, we say that true sexual reproduction is there. Okay, and it may be of isogamous, anisogamous, and oogamous type. So it depends upon the type of gamete form. The sexual reproduction can be of three different types. Fusion of similar gametes with respect to their size and shape. It is known as isogamy. So when both the gametes, now here you can see both the gametes are of similar type, morphologically as well as physiologically. Okay, so this is called isogamy. When such gamete fuses together, one gamete from one thallus is coming, okay, and the another comes from the another thallus, another organism thallus. So this can be a male gamete or this can be a female gamete. Another one also can behave as a male gamete or female gamete. So instead of male and female, they are given as plus strain or minus strain. Okay, plus strain or minus strain. So isogamy, both the gametes are morphologically and physiologically similar. It is found in Eulothrix and Chlamydomonas and also in Spirogyra. Fusion of gametes dissimilar in size is called anisogamy. Now here you can see in the second figure, one of the gamete size is quite larger and the another one is quite smaller. So dissimilar in size. And its example is Eudorhina. Fusion of motile small male gamete with a large non-motile and or a static female gamete. So female gamete is not motile. It is attached to the plant body and the male gamete is having flagella. So it is motile. So this type of sexual reproduction is called as oogamy. Okay, oogamy. Volvox and fucus, in volvox and fucus, such type of reproduction can be seen. Economic importance of algae. So they fix half of the percentage of carbon fixation on the earth and form the basis of food for all aquatic animals. So we get food, we get oxygen from the autotrophs. Autotroph makes food also and they release out oxygen also. And they also do one more important thing, that they fix the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. This is very important because if the percentage of carbon dioxide is more in the atmosphere, the atmosphere temperature will increase. Okay, and that gives to global warming. So percentage of carbon fixation on the earth, they are capable of half of the percentage of carbon fixation. Okay, so this is very important point. Species of Porphyra, Laminaria and Sargassum are edible. Edible algae means they are eaten in some form. So Porphyra, Laminaria and Sargassum are edible algae. Now hydrocolloids, L-gene from brown algae and carrageen from the red algae. These are the chemical substances which is obtained from the algae. L-gene is obtained from the brown algae and carrageen is obtained from the red algae. So this point is very important from the examination point of view. So agar is extracted from Gelidium and Gracilaria. These are the two red algae and they are very important. Agar is very important chemical substances. It is used for growth of microbes in laboratory. And it is also used in the preparation of ice creams and jellies. Now, the classification of algae. Again, algae can be classified on the basis of the pigments, the flagellation, the storage of products in them. Okay, so there are three main classes of algae. Those are chlorophyceae. So this is chlorophyceae. This is also called as green algae. Phaeophyceae. This is also called as brown algae. And rhodophyceae, which is also called as red algae. Okay, so this is, you can see a table showing the three different classes and the characteristics on which these classes has been classified or made. So we can see in the first row, the characteristics is written. That is common stored name of the algae, major pigments present in these algae, stored food amount, okay, which type of stored food is there, cell wall, flagella number and position of insertion, and habitat, where they are found. And the first column shows the classes of algae. So chlorophyceae, which is commonly called as green algae, it has having major pigment as chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. Stored food material is starch, common starch. Cell wall is made up of cellulose, and flagella number and position of insertion is flagella are 2 to 8, okay, and they are equal, and they are normally present at the apex of the cell. Where they are found, chlorophyceae are generally found in fresh water, brackish water, and even in the salt water, marine. Now comes the phaeophyceae. This is called as brown algae. This is commonly called as brown algae, and they have chlorophyll A and C. A part of chlorophyll A and C, they are also having a brown pigment which is called as fucoxanthin. This imparts a brown color. So they do have chlorophyll A and C, but they also have a brown color pigment which is called as fucoxanthin. This is very important. Mannitol and laminarin, this is the food stored material in case of phaeophyceae. Cellulose and algin are present in the cell wall. So cellulose is present in the chlorophyceae also, but apart from cellulose, they also having a chemical substance which is called as algin. Two unequal and lateral flagella. So if we draw the lateral flagella like this, one is larger. Now here, if we talk about in chlorophyceae, the flagella are 2 to 8, and they are equal, and they are present at the apex of the cell. It is present at the lateral position of the cell. So phaeophyceae, they are found in fresh water, but rarely. Brackish water and salt water. Major organism of this class are found in brackish water or salt water. Now comes the red algae. So rhodophyceae is also called as red algae. They have chlorophyll A and D. This is very important. A and D. And the red color pigment phycoerythrin. So apart from the green pigment, they do have red color pigment which is called as phycoerythrin. Stored food material is Floridian starch. Floridian starch. Cellulose, pectin, and polysulfate esters. So apart from the cellulose, their cell wall contain pectin and polysulfate esters. Flagella are totally absent. So no flagellated cell is found in the case of rhodophyceae. Fresh water, some individuals are present in fresh water, some are brackish, and some also found in salt water. So this is all about the general characteristic of algae. We will have one more session in detail about the characteristic of each classes of the algae. Okay. Thank you so much.